Hello out there, and thanks for dialing in to my new video. First things first, you may have noticed that my voice sounds a bit weird, at least a bit weirder than normal. This is a symptom from a barely survived man's flu I got over Christmas, you know, the very insidious one, and I'm so happy to be here. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. You may be surprised why I show you this picture here all the time. It looks the same as in the previous video, and you're damn right, it is the same. However, my collection transformed massively since April. I'm not going into details on the self-winding golden watch from Alpina. After my parents brought it in for service some years ago, it's running perfectly fine though. This Casio PRO here is a bit outside of the spotlight. I got it as a birthday present some years ago, as it triggered my interest due to the sheer amount of technique and sensors being crammed into this little piece of equipment. It has a barometer on it. It can measure the altitude, the temperature. It has a digital compass. It's running on solar power, is radio controlled, and offers to track God knows how many different time zones. In short, quite tech nerdy, but an awesome watch. And this stunner here is the reason why I don't have my other 12 watches anymore. I sold them all for the Christoper C60 Trident Pro 300 in a 40mm version, black, on a beautiful stainless steel bracelet. This C60 has a solid Sellita SW200 Swiss movement in it, and for a reason I can't really explain, it was speaking to me. It was speaking to me not as loud as my clear number one. That's a holy grail watch I did mention at the beginning, but the Christoper is a very nice watch I'm happy to wear anytime I put it on my wrist. I never had a bracelet actually, which was more easy to customize to the right length. There are little screws on the side which come in very handy for the adjustment. The bracelet has even a quick release and a micro adjustment in the folding clasp. I don't want to tantalize you any further, so here comes my one and only, always was, always will be, holy grail watch. Yep, that's it. Seamaster Professional 300-meter diver in black on a rubber strap. Watch-wise, that represents everything I was dreaming of since a child to own for myself. I bought it in September already at Chrono24 for 25% off the list price. It comes in this fantastic wooden box, which even includes a red leather travel pouch you can put your watch in when you are on a journey. There were a couple of events in the year of 23 that guided my way away from purchasing watches at AliExpress, which are still good value for money. Don't get me wrong here, but they never really quenched my thirst in a satisfying way. I didn't wear them longer than 1-2 days. I always felt then, I need to have another one and another one. And even though they were not all the same, but as I said, it demanded something different. The initial event was a visit of married friends of ours, and when I looked on his wrist, I saw the Tissot C-Star, which looked fantastic, even though for my wrist it would have been a bit too big, and maybe the seconds hand is not really my cup of tea, but it with the Powermatic 80 hours reserve and Swiss movement and stuff, I felt that is really something different, and it looked and it felt like an awesome watch. On a second occasion, while I was meeting with a Danish colleague who just spent his 25th anniversary money on a No Time to Die Seamaster, I think he even went up to London for it and spent around 9,000 euros. We had an interesting discussion about bang for the buck and value for money, because I was in full swing with my AliExpress watches. Even had a No Time to Die homage from Philida on a Milanese strap. But that meeting was already where I started to realize there's more behind that watch than just the outer appearance. Last but not least, we had a severe situation this year in our family here, and my wife and I, we came to the conclusion that you should not wait for your retirement until you start fulfilling your dreams. You should do it right now and here. Not plunging yourself into debt, but as long as it's not really financially hurting you, just do it. Last but not least, the technical features and the spec of this watch totally flashes me. Recently I had another discussion with a colleague. He's a proud owner of a Submariner, but wasn't too happy about the accuracy. Knowing that he's into building loudspeakers, I told him that, well, don't you get too close with your watch to the big magnets, because that could interfere with your automatic movement. He wasn't aware of that, and after demagnetizing his watch, it went much better afterwards. But don't you worry at all about that problem with your Seamaster, because the watch design and silicon hairspring, it can withstand magnetic fields up to 15,000 Gauss. That is an insane high number, and I think the next best Rolex is below 4,000. Just to get a feeling for it, 15,000 is the equivalent of the exposure in an MRT, roughly. I know it's pretty subjective, but there are many more reasons why this specific watch blows me away. I love the skeleton hands, for example, and the raised indices are rhodium plated with a superluminova, which is the widest I have ever seen. Probably the biggest wow factor to me is the coaxial movement. It's a masterpiece designed by George Daniels and operates at much less friction. Together with the 35 bearing jewels, it enables the watch to run without service for about 8 years. I think that's nearly double the amount you usually get for other Swiss movements. The Omega Seamaster is a tough one. It reminds me a little bit to the Navy SEAL selection program called BUTS. They try to identify the unbreakable character, the ones who never give up, and that's exactly what this watch is. It'll keep going, it'll never let you down, and it runs at an accuracy which is remarkable. Mine here is roughly a +1 second every 3 days. If you would ask me what is the most stunning aspect of this watch, I would probably mention the black ceramic laser engraved dial, where the red tip on the seconds hand plays so fantastically together with the red Seamaster on the black dial. It's just, every time I look at it, it brings a big smile to my face. It got quite a long video this time. Please bear with me that I couldn't stop talking, but I think you got a glimpse why this watch is so special to me and why I love it so much. If you have any question or feedback, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I wish you a fantastic 2024. Stay safe and see you next time.